At one point, 1090 Jake and P-No were friends. They built a bond online and even had the same enemies. But that all came crashing down when paperwork started circulating, allegedly tying P-No to snitching in a Florida case. Once 1090 Jake and K-Frog got wind of it, they both publicly disassociated from P-No calling him out and effectively canceling him in the prison YouTube scene. That move hit deep, and the tension started boiling over fast. Instead of staying behind the camera, P-No took it to the streets. He went live, threatened to come to Boston, and then actually did it. Drove all the way from South Florida to Jake's backyard. And when they finally linked up, it wasn't just words. It was war. A video later surfaced showing P-No on top of 1090 Jake, allegedly beating him with brass knuckles. No police ever got involved. No charges were ever filed.
Is this gang related at all? Because you guys are from different gangs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it absolutely has something to do with politics, because at the end of the day, you say you from Tampa, Florida, and you did time in Florida prisons. So you know what the politics are like. You know that shit is nothing, no business. My name should never come out your mouth unless you're expecting retaliation.
Okay.
I rip open the car door and go in there to hit his ass. He hits one of these. Hey, hey. So he's climbing over his homie who's already panicking, and his homie, whatever he do, he's telling his homie to do something. His homie does what he do. I back up off the whip.
Jake says he was trying to run the fade again. Another weapon was pulled out on him, and it wasn't to brass knuckles this time. This made Jake back off. Jake later admitted that his pride was hurt, but he had a plan. The first thing he did was get a hold of a former Florida inmate that was a neutron in the prison system but had connections with the Zoe Mafia family. 1090 Jake allegedly put $10,000 on Brandon Smart's head, aka P-No.
Beat the blubber out you. I embarrassed you. I hurt your pride for life. And then you went and we're not gonna say no names and none of that, but you went and tried to put a bag on my head after that happened. And what happened? What they told you? P-No real good around the way. Real good. And what you have to do? Try to get your money back, right? Is what it is.
Now, after the failed hit, 1090 Jake went on to make videos about P-No. One video being his interrogation tape, and the other video would be P-No at a gun range and allegedly getting arrested for being a felon with a possession of a firearm. Now, P-No is still fighting this case to this day, and him and 1090 Jake are still going back and forth, trying to find more dirt on each other. A lot has transpired since 1090 Jake drops the Larry Hoover video. I mean, a lot. To the point now, suicide. The GDs, and a lot of people are saying that, it's like a career suicide move, but I mean, the numbers are not going nowhere, so I don't know. I think this is what he was looking for, honestly.
Yeah, facts. It's just gonna create more controversial. If the BG video didn't do it, bro, this ain't gonna, you know what I mean? Straight up.
I give it to the end of the summer. We'll find out what's really happening.
Right. But they say no publicity is bad publicity, but at the same time, if you go on 1090's page, his views used to be in the millions. Now they're 200,000. Just, sometimes it gets like that. It gets slow, but I do see a significant drop.
Absolutely.
Now, the rumor of the GDs wanting the chain, I know it's lighter from another rumor, even P-No's title right here, the Gangster Disciples put a hit on 1090 Jake. The chain, is that something that he should just be worrying about his life at this point? Like, fuck the chain, give him the chain.
And what is so significant about the chain? I'm trying to understand this.
The chain represents every person that he's exposed snitching. That's the million. Like when he made over $1 million, I think he paid like 70,000 for that chain, or maybe I don't know how much that chain is. I think it's a big bag though.
Oh, but that's a bag. It's probably just the point they're trying to make.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy.
The statement
to be worth as much as he paid for it, because that's like 10% of what he made. That's wild.
Well, is your life worth it too? Because do you get, and he doesn't rock it all the time, but when he does like interviews like Vlad, No Jumper.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never been into jewelry, watches, or anything like that, man. I've always been into the other side of things, seeing how much those things are going to be worth. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. That could be a thing. It could be a medallion piece where it could be put on a pedestal where, listen, all that shit you did and you spoke all this craziness and you exposed everybody, we're going to put you on the shelf now.
Oh, that's a trophy. To the enemies, that's a trophy. Let's just call it how we see it. It is what it is. To the ops, that's a whole trophy, bro.
Yeah, and it kind of puts a stamp on anything that he tries to do in the future. But definitely put it in a category of not valid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Explain to me why 1090 Jake can't say sorry for what he did.
Pride, ego, you never know. Or maybe he just don't feel like he's wrong at the end of the day. You
Well,
know what I mean?
honestly, when you do something, you should know the consequences of what you're doing. So if he didn't think this through, you know, that would be pretty fucking stupid. But I think he knew what he was doing. I think he knew the consequences and the repercussions of that video and what was going to take place and the controversy that was going to surround it.
Right,
Right.
right.
So I don't know what his angle is, but I do know that it was a fucking suicidal move. I know that.
Well, like it makes me think of the hood fishing when he exposed the civilian that got a lot of controversy. The BG video when he allegedly, exposed the BG for whatever allegedly being a snitch and shit like that. That stirred up some motion too. You know what I mean? So at the same time, I can see it getting crazy, but I don't know if it's the end. You know what I mean? Because I think from where he's sitting, he's like, I'm gonna do me, fuck the haters type shit. But in life, you always gotta watch your back, have eyes in the back of your head. You never know who's them haters. You know what I mean,
Right.
you
And
never,
it,
you're not always gonna know everybody who don't like you type shit or who got beef with you. Some
of
shit is right in
course.
front of your face, but a lot of that shit is behind your back, bro. You never know.
No, it's always behind your back. Usually, when it's in your face, you're dealing with it. It's either life or death. But I'm always on my conspiracy theories. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Maybe
right,
this was a ploy to, kind of put things in perspective where, it could put Larry on the back burner and not bring so much attention to what it is that's going on. I'm just saying, could be
right, right,
another angle. You know what I'm saying? Make it look one way when it's really not type
right.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? 1090 might be in on it, and it might be on the payroll. Who knows?
Well, we know that you can't mention 1090 Jake's name without mentioning Byron Blake's name these days, even though that Byron Blake is a battle rapper, so he knows how to take an angle and
Right,
sometimes he
right.
be reaching. But some of the stuff like the grievance that he dropped was real
Yeah.
paperwork and it looks like there was consequences after he dropped them. Now, behind the scenes, there's two individuals that we're forgetting about. One person we're looking at on the screen that is a friend of Byron Blake that has been on streams with Byron
Right,
Blake.
right, right.
And then
Yeah, I
you have
swear to
another
God, that's
person.
just my
Go
bad.
ahead.
But yo, in the beginning, I thought Byron Blake was on Pino's payroll at first. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Right, that's what a
But
lot of
but
people thought. You're right.
but that's my point about somebody that is like at least Pino is like, yo, I got beef with you, so you know what it is, what it is. It's in your face type shit. He ain't trying to hide shit. But the people behind the scenes that you don't even know that want your chain, that's the kind of shit that you gotta stay on your P's and Q's and tippy toes for. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to remember, Pino is a fucking opportunist, chase clout, bro. So he don't give a fuck, bro. He don't care. He's one of those bold faced rats that just you know what I mean? It just get nasty and don't give a fuck. So I don't know.
But my point is, at least he puts it out there. Like, I got beef. We ain't good. This is where we stand. So at least he knows where he stands with him. Is what I'm saying. Same with Byron Blake. They're standing on this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're good friends, unspoken crime. And then there's one other person too, and his name is Sean Cotton from Say Cheese. He had the full rights to spot him, got him. 1090 Jake exposes him.
Yep.
You get an unspoken crime out of nowhere, and then now you got a Byron Blake out of nowhere that has literally been on 1090 Jake's neck this whole time. True or not, you can't deny the numbers and what he's done over there on that
Right.
channel.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Now he's definitely done one crazy fucking Picasso over there. He's definitely done some pretty fucking detailed videos.
And it looked
He
like
yeah.
about to point out some scientific facts right here. The way you got the
Oh
video
yeah,
paused, it looks like he's
yeah.
really about to break some shit down scientifically.
Right. No, yeah, so and then one more thing before we get into this video. One reference that Byron Blake likes to bring up over and over and over again is the news station. K Frog and 1090 Jake, they did an
Yep.
interview on the news station. I don't even know if DBS knows this. And they actually told the news, yeah, there's K2 in prison, there's this, there's that.
All kinds of drugs,
Byron
weapons, knives,
yeah, Byron Blake went on to say that that led to multiple arrests in Florida.
toss ups, and yep.
But at the same
Shakedowns.
time, it's hypocritical because they're on Jake's neck for just going through a newspaper article, but you're going through the news channel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like the
Yeah,
same thing.
you got to remember, man. Back in the day, them officers were nasty, man. They'll say anything,
Yep.
man. They put anything in a report. They'll make anything, you know,
And
anything
that's a
to.
good point. It's about perspective. I think 1090 was trying to expose the officers, but it brought attention to the inmates, and that's where this whole shit got real confusing, real
Well,
sticky,
and
real
the
iffy.
officers too. But why would you want to expose those officers when they're the
Well, there's
plug?
crooked and there's crooked. There's the ones that are doing things for you, and then there's the ones that are making life difficult for you. Those are two different kinds of, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying in certain gangs in certain states, it ain't no beef if you got a beef between the officer. That ain't no big deal. It's like taking down the man or whatever. But to get into it with another a gang member, that whether when it comes to grievances and telling and shit like that, it's two different things. Like nobody gives a fuck if you incriminate a cop in some gangs in some states, but in others, the same rules apply. You know what I mean?
So I just got to say something about the grievance process.
Hmm.
When you do a grievance, um, you're already you're already exposing what's already there. So it's like almost in a sense like it's
And
like.
I don't want to stop you, but can you put another inmate in the grievance? Because that's where you're forgetting. A
So
grievance
That's
if
what I
is
was
that
gonna
so
bring up.
if you're
Mentioned by
grieving
name. Yep.
if you're grieving, right, if you're grieving a write up in a specific incident, and everybody who's in that report has to be mentioned in your grievance. You can't say such as it has to be mentioned.
Right.
If it has a part of the grievance, you can't leave shit out. Like it
Right.
has to be a. So if you're grieving this write up, you have to say what happened in the write up because it's already there.
Yeah, but Corey King said, and then you go look at the grievance because Byron. And listen, I'm not a 1090 Jake hater. I'm not, I'm more on
No,
the,
facts, facts.
you know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, in the grievance it says that blank such and such hit me with a lock and a sock. Now what he's doing is he's putting the person's name in there, and I get that you're
Right.
saying but does he really have to put the person's name in there? He could
He
say,
doesn't have to. He doesn't have to repeat the actual action and incident,
Right.
right? Like it should be a way to maneuver where you don't have to say something like that, right?
And yo, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead, run.
I was just gonna point out the fact before we went past it. The homeboy that allegedly hit him with the lock and a sock, I did reach out to him and ask him if we could have him pull up to the YouTube streets for an exclusive interview. I'm just waiting for him to get back to me. I messaged him last night.
Oh no shit.
Yes, sir.
Well, that'll fucking solve the issue right then and there because he'll be able to tell us whether or not they you know had some kind of understanding or
Yep.
he's
that's.
interviewed before. He said that they didn't.
Oh, okay. So maybe we can get a little bit more in depth on what it is that took place and how it affected him.
Exactly.
How much did it really fuck up his time and what trials and tribulations did he go through because of that? And let's try to look at it from a different angle from both sides to see what really is that could possibly have took place. But a grievance is a grievance. When you grieve something,
Well said.
you have to grieve the incident, right? And you have to mention the officer's name, or else they're not going to know who the fuck you're talking about. So if you're mentioning and grieving and write up with an officer with an incident, you shouldn't really implement that whoever's on the write up. You want to try to separate it as
Right.
much as you can without saying that that person did something that can incriminate them. So I don't know. It's a fucked up balance when it comes to this because
Yeah.
it
And to
doesn't
be
seem
honest, bro, go ahead.
it doesn't seem like he took the care and concern and the courtesy to really think that through. But in agreement,
Yeah.
you have to mention all parties involved.
Yeah, I was just thinking, bro, he just sometimes when you get to a certain level, right, a certain level of success and notoriety, or even reach a certain amount of money, right, you always got that back pocket, like, oh, they just hating. Like, it could be true or not. It's always gonna be an argument, the fact that people are just hating because of where I'm at, how far I came, you know what I mean? Where I've been and where I'm at. So you got to keep that in mind. But I think Byron Blake, sometimes he be reaching, but he's definitely diving deep in doing his research. So we're gonna have to see what comes next.
Yeah. We'll see, because he's definitely coming hard when he comes, man. No homo.
He's on the
They
neck.
don't let the GDs in the dope.
And remember, the Miami police said that 1090 Jake was the treasurer for sex money murder. Go ahead.
Yep.
Whoa. That sounds like a
I
starter's
didn't say it,
indictment.
and that's why it come. If you take what that says and then go to Bootleg Kev interview, now it starts making sense.
Right.
And they keep saying Corey King needs to put 1090 on. Well, Corey King is GKB, K-Shine. It's a whole different subset.
Right.
1090 Jake would be with Remy. Remy was part of Sex Money Murder. Remy's the best friend of Cardi B. I'm just saying, bro.
Whoa.
Hey, shout out to the person that gassed your
Because in
dumb
reality,
ass
well,
up.
sorry,
Shout
but in
out to
reality,
them, bro. I don't
it's
know.
not going to be Corey King that puts off 1090 Jake. It's going to be Pistol Pete. But go ahead.
Whoa. Yo, you are fucking treading. You better chill out, bro.
Who gassed you up, but you know, like I know, like the whole world knows, that boy, you better be walking a tight line. You better never get in trouble again. You better never ever go to jail or prison again. All that shit you speak about, you better never go.
So you said
go
that
around
same thing,
ballpark
DBS. He
again.
said he
You might
can't
as
go
well
to
just
any
that's
prison in
true.
America.
Evident. I was just
Nah.
gonna say that been evident for a lot of these YouTubers that done time that turned into content creators. So much they speak on so much politics, and they've come so far that they
Whoa.
can't go.
You know what I just thought? I said, holy
we
shit.
good.
Hold on. It just came to me just now. Yo, maybe he feels like the feds is on him. And he's like, yo, I'm denouncing my gang. And
We talked about that. We
That's what I
talked
said
about
on the
that.
I'm gonna
bootleg
make
Kev
sure.
shit.
I'm gonna make sure.
Paranoid, bro.
I'm gonna make sure that y'all know I'm for real with this shit. Y'all gonna have to put me in protective custody. Yo, did Larry Hoover's his arrest? That's what he's. Come on, think about it. That's wild.
That's
That's
crazy.
big.
That's
That's
wicked
big.
wild.
That's basically like, come save me. I need some protection because you're. Ooh, yeah. That's crazy, man.
Can you do this though? And I know people have done it before. Can you go publicly and say you're not part of it, but still be part of it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Again, I think it depends on what gang, what state, what politics you're involved in, because everyone has their own rules. You know what I mean? Because out here, you're supposed to not even admit the mafia even exists. What mob? What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Sean
And then,
Gotti.
you know what I
Ooh.
mean? Then in other situations, they're out there shining, Teflon Don, brand new suits, like fucking, they're putting on, they're throwing their shit up, they're letting it be known, they're being vocal, they're being visual, so it all really depends, you know what I mean? Especially nowadays with this new generation, bro, shit is different.
At one point, he was gonna have King Breezy join. We talked about this, but King Breezy was transitioning from the Kings to the Bloods.
Listen, man. Well, I don't know what you're getting into right here, right now.
We're touching on the facts, man. This is what Breezy went through in there. He, you know what I mean? From
We're debriefing
allegedly,
DBS, something you don't know about.
they said he went from LK to Big B, so I don't know.
Because listen, they are affiliated. They are, cool, and when he was in prison, you're bringing one thing. When you get out, you're bringing another thing. And that fell through because paperwork came up. And I think if he can go back in time, 1090 Jake would have started picking and choosing and expose on the snitch stuff because people, it's a subjective thing. Snitching is subjective. Like to the point where you're grieved. They're saying that 1090 Jake's grievance to Corey. This is coming out of Corey King's mouth, the leader of the GKB. And they're saying that's snitching. So if you're getting mad at King Sean or what, not King Sean, King Breezy, you get mad
But
at King
telling is
Breezy.
telling. Period. Telling is telling, bro. And you know what? When people want to wonder, is he still that king? Did he end up joining the Bloods? Just pay attention to the name. You know what I mean? Because I doubt if he moved over to another gang, they're still gonna allow him to go by King Breezy. You know what I'm saying?
And we've seen 1090 with a green flag before too. Just saying.
Scandalous squad.
Country boots on, start singing she gone country. Oh, look at them boots type shit and start going to the chili cook-off, brother. Because shit is fucked up for you right now.
That was racist, Pino.
And I ain't gonna lie. People gonna be like, Pino.
Them chili cook-offs be lit.
I don't know, man. This shit is crazy.
Is that a white person? I guess that is a white. We got good potato salad too, but continue.
Ooh. What do? You put raisins in your potato salad, don't you?
No, they put raisins and cranberry and chicken salad. That's like real white. Like I'm talking about that's white. We don't do that in my household.
Man, I'm fucking up this lemon pepper chicken. That's my shit. The
Oh, I
lemon
love
pepper
lemon
chicken
pepper
on the
chicken,
grill.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
lemon
sounds like
pepper.
right there, lemon pepper.
Mm,
I love it.
That shit's fire.
Nah, man, lemon pepper I believe is actually, you know what? Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
It's too.
Whatever I said right there is gonna come off racist and fun. Just go ahead,
Yo,
bro.
whoever ain't eating lemon pepper chicken, I feel bad for you when you missing out. I don't care what color you are, period.
Rick Ross has a song. Oh, and speaking of Rick Ross,
Whoa.
that is somebody, that is an individual that has suffered repercussions from the Gangster Disciples because he put Larry Hoover in a song. Now, it was Florida GDs that was coming at him. There's videos all over the internet on this, bro. There was Florida GDs coming at him. There was Georgia GDs coming at him.
Big
And
facts.
they shot up his car one day, bro.
And
And that
plug,
was enough for the statement. Go ahead.
plug. I was just gonna say, plugger. That shit allegedly from what the streets be, cause this a YouTube streets. The streets be talking. You know what I mean? But from what I be hearing, that shit ain't over. They still on his neck any chance they get. The shit ain't sweet.
He had to cancel like 5 to 6 shows that day. They were so now
Yo,
the
he's
Heat,
avoiding certain states.
he is.
Oh, you laughing at his miss? I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Fuck you thought. Then your whole basis of trying to expose Larry Hoover was a 1960s news article from a police statement? Bro, you gotta be shitting me, bro. Do you know how racist the police were in the 60s?
And hold on. We've heard it even come out of Jake's mouth. If anyone knows, we all know. Jake knows. 1090 knows that the police be lying. They could put whatever they want on them statements and them reports. So
Do you know how much of a liar the police were in the city? Bro, there was no such thing as whipping your camera phone out in the 60s and being like, let me record this police brutality. Let me record this crooked cop. Let me record this. There was no such thing. There was no such thing. Boy, your ass. They done
yo,
let the
hold on.
GDs in the.
I just want to say, bro, like, and even if you did try back then, say you had one of the first biggest cameras that you had to hold on your shoulders, they would go extra hard, bro. I remember being a young buck, right? And my mother had one of them recorders like that, one of the first ones that ever came out, bro. And my brother was out there fist fighting with the police, and my father ran out there and beat the dog shit out of a few cops. And they ended up coming, another squad car came, another patrol car came, and then they ended up beating my father, like 6 of them. He knocked out like 3 of them, and like 6 of them beat him bloody to a bloody pulp with their billy clubs. And my father got up and was like, "Yo, you still hit like a bitch." And he spit in the cop's face, spit blood in the cop's
Dang.
face. And the cop smashed him in the forehead with the billy club. And my father just passed out and he woke up in jail and he ended up going to prison for assaulting police officers. I didn't see him for like 3 to 5 after that, but they really just because my mother had a video camera outside, we were rapping and shit, and she was recording us rapping. It was like the first day of school or something like that. So they're like, "Oh, you want to have the camera? Like, get this on camera." Like, they didn't give a fuck. They went extra hard. Like back then, they didn't even care, bro. And she didn't get nothing on camera. She never mentioned nothing. But just the fact, if someone did try to pull a camera out back in the day, they wouldn't give a fuck, bro. By the time you got that shit rolling, they'd already be done doing what they were doing. Is my point. You know what I mean?
That was even funnier. Is you went on Bootleg Kev. You went on Bootleg Kev podcast and said you decided to drop your flag because you looked around and all the other people weren't getting as much money as you in the blood subchapter that you were quote unquote representing.
Better slow it down, man. He better calm his fucking lingo down, man. Whoa. Your rhetoric is not fucking not friendly.
You said they weren't getting, this is your words from Bootleg Kev. You said they weren't getting money and they were all bums. So that's why you decided to drop your flag. Come to find out, that's a lie. But Corey King was your superior.
Whoa.
And he got on YouTube
Hey,
and
yo,
said, "You're
hold
no
up.
good."
Yo, Plug, I feel like Pino's taking a few little things we said and just turned it up a notch, like went all the way up with it. You know what I mean? We brought
That's
out
the only
certain
thing he
things
can
like
do.
the way he went about it was a little disrespectful. What he said, maybe he could have went about it a different way. You know what I mean? But he's basically saying what we said, but he's going all in.
This is the only option he has to get back in the fucking the algorithm. This is what he's got to do. He's gotta do a little bit of what 1090 Jake did.
Good.
Damn.
You're facing a put off by the set. And this was last year he said this, but we didn't notice it because nobody really knows who the fuck Corey King is. Nobody pay attention to that shit. We pay attention to the major blogs and the major outlets. But boy, your own head said you no good last year from
That sounds wild.
the grievance you
So
wrote.
this was a live
So you
stream,
didn't.
right? And in the live stream, he didn't put it on this regular video, but Pino said, "You know, I don't even give a fuck about Corey King, but no disrespect, it's just so funny. It's like isn't that the same thing? It's the
Straight up.
Larry Hoover shit."
Straight up.
Yo.
Delete the pictures of
But he's
you
not
with all these
exposing
blood.
Corey King either. He's just kind of just like, I don't really give a fuck. But that's how
Right,
1090's
right.
attitude. That's how 1090J's attitude is towards these dudes. Same thing. It's like, I think it's the
It is
Florida
what it
thing,
is
bro.
type shit. Yeah.
Blame it on Florida, right? Fucking Florida culture, I guess.
Bloods
Like we
throwing up
always
big
say, there's
D's
something
and
in the
this, that,
water
and the
out
third.
there.
You didn't.
I didn't hear you, Ronnie. Say it one more time.
I was just saying, like we said, man, there's something in the water out there. You know what I mean? When we call out the craziness, we gotta salute to the respect too. It can't
Ronnie,
be one way.
let me ask you something. What is Boston? What is the atmosphere in Boston? Let me re-question this. How does people in Boston feel about 1090 Jake?
So basically, the older cats is like, yo, that's what's up. He's doing a thing. Somebody from Malden, somebody from Boston, they putting on for the city. That's what's up. Now the ones in the middle, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? The young bucks, they just want that chain. They want that money. They want to lick. They want to come up. They want to rob his ass straight up.
Yeah, I remember he was
Oh
out here in New
shit,
York City. He was out here with a
China Mac
China Mac. He was
and
out here
Remy.
and they were on his heels, man. They were in and out, man. They stood for about 30 minutes, but even that, man, 30 minutes on a motorcycle, man, you can get from Brooklyn to Manhattan real quick. I'm just saying, but once they seen the time was getting a little crazy, they got up out of there. They went to a chicken spot and all that. But yeah, shit's crazy, man. This whole scenario of what's taking place right now with fucking Rap Boy Pino and fucking 1090 Jake and Byron Blake and all these motherfuckers, man. This shit's crazy, man.
Why did 1090 Jake leave Boston, Ronnie? Because look, your brother grew up playing football with 1090 Jake.
Yep, indeed, correct. They was on the same Pop Warner team. I know originally he left Florida because he was trying to avoid trouble. He came to Boston thinking there would be less trouble. I think he learned real quick there's a lot more trouble, and maybe he just acted accordingly. That's just my own opinion.
I agree. I agree that Boston, because I agree that you could get more trouble
Cause he
in
was a
Boston.
young buck out here, right? He came out here as an adult and seen how it really gets it in, how it's really in motion. The real get down and be like,
He got
this is too
arrested in
risky.
Boston.
Yeah, you know what I mean. When you making that type of money, that kind of money, you're getting that kind of notoriety and success. This is not the place to be, bro. It's nothing but trouble, straight up.
No, yeah, I get that. I actually want to do a contribution to the voice actor for King of the Hill, um, the Native American. I can't remember his name, but he actually got murdered over the weekend.
John Redwood or something.
So he is a gay man, old school gay, by the way. Shout out to all the old school gays.
Shout out to the old school gays.
Absolutely. Him and his partner were out in the open about their relationship.
Oh, it's Redcon, John Redcon.
John Redcon. Yeah. And they killed him and his dog. And if you're looking a little deep, it might have been his. I don't think.
Damn.
Yeah, they wilded out on him, and
But
all
whatever,
because
you
of
got
his.
business with him, handle your business. But what the fuck's the dog got to do with it, man?
That's
No, he
fucked
only
up. The
did it.
dog can't snitch. There's no reason to kill the dog.
Leave the
They,
dog out of this shit,
they
man.
thought the dog was gay too, bro.
Oh shit.
Okay, is this some stupid ass joke that you're trying to say right now?
No, bro, I'm being real, bro. This is real shit.
Yo.
Look it up, bro.
They brought their dog. His dog sniffed his dog's ass. They wasn't having it.
No, I just said that him and his partner
This
came
is
out.
this is dark.
Yo,
Yo,
this
chill,
is
man.
crazy.
Chill. What this just got dark, man. Whoa. I said that this man came out um openly with his partner and his and you know, people in the neighborhood saw that and somebody didn't like it, man. They went over there and they took care of him and they took care of the dog and
Yeah.
they're no longer here, man.
Well, listen,
They,
like I said, if you got beef with that man, that's your business. But fuck you for killing an innocent dog, punk.
but what about the fact that they killed this man because he was
That's not my
homosexual?
business. It's none of my business. I'm just saying,
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah,
you
Devious,
know,
didn't
I
you say
rescue.
that that's what y'all do in prison? Or you said
I
this. You said if you go
Whoa.
to prison for killing a gay guy, there's no repercussions for it.
No. Yeah. I mean, circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? You
just for the
can.
record, I got 4 pit bulls. I rescue and rehome dogs. They get a special place in my heart. Just for context for the chat. Go ahead.
And for the record, I got 4 gay cousins. Continue.
All right, let's get
Your
back to the fucking
cousin.
video, man. You guys, dude.
Because you decided to
Scandalous.
grow up. You deleted those pictures out of pressure from your own set that told you you are no longer one of us.
Yo, and I'm gonna be real, man. Fucking Pino will fucking spin a narrative quick,
Yeah.
fast, in a hurry, bro. This might not even be factual shit, bro.
Well, you know
He
what
just
it is?
he came up with some bright ideas and started to talk his fucking nonsense. That's what
Well,
this
just to
is.
let you know, yo, a plug and plug. He brought up a great point when it comes in regards to this. So you have right. He did get he got rid of a lot of that shit, right? But one of the most bloodiest pictures he got up there, he kept, bro. He's standing on business. He's stepping on shit. He got the red flag and all that. So it's like
Yep.
1 foot in, 1 foot out type shit. It's either all or nothing, man. Make up your mind, homeboy. Respectfully.
That gang.
Yes, and that's
Good dad gang.
piggyback off what Ronnie said. 1090 Jake moves like he raps, but he don't rap in a sense where he's going to put subliminals in his stuff. Like he just said, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's
Right.
literally what that picture represents.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
or big stepper, but at the same time,
Right.
he just said that he's not sliding on shit.
I thought you said he moves, bro. I'm like, that's a crazy fat joke. He said he moves.
nah.
Boy.
Streets.
Hey, your downfall is hilarious, dog. Your downfall is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit is fucking funny. That shit is funny.
Hey, yo, hold up, right? Everybody in the chat, go check out Ronnie Blue Eyes featuring Keto Wavy, Scandalous Squad, Downfall. That's actually how I got first introduced to King Shine and Pino. They was commented on that exact video on my old YouTube page showing mad love. Shout out to White Girl. All that, man. Down South Florida was holding me down, rocking with me, man. Salute.
And it ain't like you could ever go back to jail. And I'm not saying it's cool. Appreciate that. Smash that like. And I'm not saying it's cool to go to jail, but shit happens, bro. Shit happens. Especially when you claim to be this big bad person. You could be out in public. Somebody can mouth off to you or shove you, and then you punch them in their shit. And now you go to jail for a basic battery charge. You can never go to jail again. You can never go to prison. You can never go anywhere around the criminal underworld. Anywhere around anybody. I don't even think you can go in public. I really, truly, on
Yo, imagine if Pino sent this to himself.
everything I love, believe that you, Jacob Cherry, cannot go in public right now and fucking record and let an active, bro. You can't.
I agree with that. Like he can't
You
go
can't go in
live
public.
and put his location up for like an hour. Like Charleston White can't even do like some people cannot do that. There's
Yo,
too
but
many
a lot of that's
enemies.
because of the money. You got
Look
a
at
lot of
this
It's the
dude.
money too.
but it's the
What's this
money
dude? He
too.
just got popped in the projects. What's his name, man? The
Young
backyard.
Scooter.
Rainforest. No, backyard. Rainforest. He's got the rainforest in the backyard.
Oh,
Dude,
Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell.
Hassan Campbell. Yeah, Hassan Campbell. He just got popped.
That shit was hilarious. He was out there popping his shit, then he got popped in his shit.
Come on, Shard. Come on, Shard. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, yeah. I think it was only one shot, but you know what I get.
Yeah.
It was a
Bro,
warning shot. They could have
that
killed
shit is
him, bro.
crazy.
They might have been trying, bro. It shit, he got them big ass
Nah, they
arms,
was
man.
telling him, shut the fuck up and get the fuck up out of here. That was a warning, straight up.
Listen, man, them big ass arms, man. Them shit. That's a lot of flesh for a bullet to go through, man. So
Hey,
He's been ran through before.
That shit is crazy. Like I said, this ain't just you exposing Boston Richie or you dropping a Pinot interrogation or you exposing BG or Rollo or this is not that. This is, I don't think you grasped that when you decided to make the video. I don't think that shit ran through your head that this is not your regular person.
and why was it so quick? Why was he so adamant about putting that video out so soon
one?
after the one he did on Larry Hoover? Like, I'm just curious, right? Because it
oh,
wasn't
Maybe
long after. Like, I've
timing,
seen
bro.
him.
I
Yeah,
think he wanted to be the first
that
one
was
to it.
desperate, but that was crazy though. Like,
That was a missed shot. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't even think that shit was 24 hours, bro. I don't think.
well,
the
this is
news
what he
was out.
does. He puts an Instagram story out, and he asks the people, "It's like y'all want a video on Larry Hoover?"
Right,
When
right.
he already has it coming. That's a tactic he does.
Did he do
If-
that though? Is
Yeah,
that
he
something
did do that.
did?
He did do that with this one, but he already had it. So he did that, and then an hour later, the video was out. So he already had the video done.
So
He
let
was
me
just
say
asking the
this.
people what the temp was.
Like he said about me, right? Ronnie quick with it. After the St. Patrick's Day parade and Bean Shooter, I seen 1090 Jake Bean Shooter. I went home, clipped that shit. He's like, damn, he hit up plug like, damn, Blue Eyes quick with it. In this situation, 1090 was quick with it.
Yeah, he's quick with his videos to a certain extent. I think he
This is
didn't.
not a video plug where you want to be quick on, bro. This is not something that you want to say.
Well,
You know what?
it's just like with us, right? We go and find the trendy true crime topic. At that day, the trendiest topic was Larry Hoover. I mean, the last couple of days was crazy. We did a live on it.
Yo,
Yeah,
I
I
think
hear
that
what you're saying, but true crime and gang world is two different fucking places, bro.
Bro, it's like it's as simple as this. You're not safe. You're not safe, friend.
And he's not lying. This is not like some shit. He's like,
Free Larry Hoover.
yo, he called him friend. That's crazy.
well, you got to remember, if fucking Pino can run down on 1090 Jake, anybody can, bro. Let's be real. Fucking this wasn't like.
Well, he had brass knuckles though, so it's an asterisk, right?
Well, I don't respect the shit in the first place. The whole wave. You know what I mean? The whole shit was like.
But some
content,
people check me all the time. They say no. In the
Fucking
streets,
Pino's,
nothing. Everything goes. Anything goes.
Pino's a fucking ambulance changer, bro. Fuck out of here, bro. He fucking chased that man down with brass knuckles and made him look crazy. He fucking jumped in the whip and then took off to another part of the country.
But yo, some people would say if you roll up into somebody else's hood dolo, you stupid not to be heavy. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you really like that, bro, you don't have to make a fucking announcement, bro. You could do some assassin shit. That whole shit he
I
did with
hear
those
you.
the
Bad
brass
boys move
knuckles.
in silence with
All
violence. Right.
you gotta do is, quiet.
But let's
like,
be real. If it wasn't on video, we wouldn't be believing it. That's the thing. Thank God he got it on video because we wouldn't even
thank
be
God.
believing him.
Whoa, holy
Yo,
shit.
even the after video 1090 posted all heated, leaking and shit, breaking it
Fucking
down.
DVS, man. He's taking every word I said. He's spinning it. He said that.
I'm
Listen,
not, man.
I wasn't saying that I was.
Represents
I'm a
you. What's your
bigger. Hey,
percentage?
listen. I ain't saying that I'm a bigger anything like that. Like than Larry Hoover, but I'm just saying you don't know the person. That's all I'm saying. You don't know the person, bro.
I'm confused now. You just confused the fuck out of me. Let's keep it moving.
Well, shout out to the old school gays.
Yeah, shout out to the old school gays.
Pino can make all this go away. I can make it all go away, brother. Give me a call. I'll go ahead and put you up on the
Narcissism at its finest.
Yeah,
This
No,
is
he's
wild.
being real right here. Listen,
What's yo, bro?
listen, man. He being real, man. He's trying to help 1090 out.
in Florida, he might have them connects, but them GDs is deep all over the country, bro. And you got some GDs don't even have that much pull to be able to, you know what I mean, respectfully. So this is kind of a stretch for me.
This is super duper stretchy. This is you lost me. You lost
But
me,
I
kid.
think he's just
Under the
catching
wing,
wreck. I'll son you type shit.
Come on, man.
make some phone calls and I'll make this shit go away.
Now somebody say, "Yo, I want to." No. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. Somebody says, "Yo, I want to hold you to that. Make it happen, Captain." And then you can't fucking pull through in your shit, man. Well, come on, man. You know you can't pull through on that. You can't fucking. Are you serious? You couldn't pull Jesus
What do you mean?
Christ
You
out
don't,
of this shit.
whoa, wait a
Come
minute.
on, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Whoa. Why
Whoa,
Jesus?
nothing.
Well, no,
You
wait a
could have.
minute.
Come on, man.
Pino's saying that he could take 1090 under his wing, and he can make sure the GDs don't touch him.
Who the fuck is Pino, bro?
Keep playing him, man. I think you need to. I think you need to just look him up.
We know fucking 18-hour interrogation. Are you serious, bro? For fucking 11 years? Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. And they still kept the memorabilia.
So
You
Plug
sick
saying
fuck.
you might be underestimating him, right? Because let me prove a point, right?
Oh no.
I remember my godfather telling me way back in the day in prison, you never fight a faggot, this and that. It's a lose-lose. You don't want to be the guy to beat him up. You don't want to be the guy to lose to him, this and that. So just because they might be gay or they might have snitch or whatever, doesn't mean he don't have hands. He might be able to still fight. Is all I'm saying. Just looking at it from the
He has the
outside
best
looking
fight
in.
versus
Bro,
Minor
I don't know
Mouse.
if this was the alley oop. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the alley. Thank you for the alley. I've seen his flirtatious spars, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
That
Bro.
wasn't anything.
But
He
that
But go.
shit
crosses his
old.
legs and
All right.
everything
Seen
like
his
a
new shit on
lady.
Instagram. He's been
He's a lady
boxing,
when it
bro.
comes to fighting, bro.
He had
crossed
skinny
his legs
jeans on with a big rack in there. Pause.
no, and he had his belt on with his pants falling
Keys
off
and
his ass.
shit.
He was over there laughing and giggling with the fucking petty fucking over there. And then they slept in the same hotel room.
Hey,
Are you
he had
kidding me?
more hits than Minor
Get
Mouse.
the
Go
fuck
count
out
the
of here.
hits.
No,
Count the
get the
hits.
fuck out of here.
Count the hits. He had more hits on Minor Mouse than he hit Jake. Man,
But
press play,
man,
man.
yo,
you
when
better
he's talking
stop,
about
man.
phone call, he might just be talking about Florida. Like we might be able to fix some shit, but you never know,
Man,
bro.
you're talking about
He might
somebody
be.
that's in charge of a whole thing that was created off of subsets. Are you serious? Come on, bro. Let's not move that goalpost to whatever that was.
But
'Cause
Pino
No,
is
not
a
at all.
Hoover. Pino's not the same Hoover as Milk, but he's a Crip. He's a Hoover Crip. He's a Hoover criminal, right? Or is it Hoover
I don't
criminal? Is a
know.
Hoover Crip?
I don't know anything for Pino to be
Yeah,
other than a
Florida's
fucking rap.
different because in Cali they got the five dudes like that Trails Potter. You know what I mean? Some of them still claim Crip. There's
And he
only
has
like two sets
and this
left.
motherfucker was in Kodak Black's video, so he has a connection with the
He
the
definitely got the
Zoes.
pull in Florida. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's got a little bit of
Cause
connections, I
listen,
believe.
after
And
that
1090 had a
shit,
hit on him.
after that whole thing took place, he still went and did his whole bid, did the street thing after. So it clearly didn't affect him. Now, after the interrogation video came out, we don't know if or what or if anything changed. That's different. You know what I mean? The
1090 Jake,
timing.
1090 Jake put $30,000 cash on Pino's head, and
Allegedly.
that allegedly, and the outcome was
Whoa,
for him to die. Now, when
whoa,
he
whoa!
got
Where are
them,
we getting this information from? I
bro,
don't want parts of this. Whoa,
bro, Pino said this. This was in his response to the snitching. Ronnie, if
this
I'm
is crazy.
capping, I'm napping. You know this. He said it. He said that. Oh, and he had to.
Supposedly, allegedly, there were allegations as
Holy
such, right?
cow! This is all new news to me, man. This is wild. That's crazy. 30,000 on the head of fucking Rat Boy
But you
Pino?
can't believe anything, everything you
But
hear
Pino
neither.
says
You never
that
know.
they gave the money back to Jake.
What? I listen. This is getting deep, man. This sounds
Oh,
like
that's crazy.
This sounds like
They said, no, your money's no good here, and we're not doing it because in Florida, I try to explain this to everybody, but snitching is probably the least and less important thing in the Florida politics. We've seen it. How many of these YouTubers have we seen, bro? How many of these different gang members, how many
Right.
rap
And I'm
artists have we
not
seen?
condoning it. I'm just pointing out the fact that he didn't get any of his homies in trouble. He said he just ratted on some chick that was dead or something. I'm just going off of what I was told. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
oof. This is getting crazy, man. This is deep shit. This is real deep.
Because Pino's a
Shit.
7th generation Floridian, and he was tapped into something because he's
A
got
seventh,
family.
yo, this is getting crazy. Plug a seventh generation of a Floridian. This
Yeah,
is
he's
getting wild, bro.
yeah, I am too. I'm a 7th generation
What?
Floridian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
100%.
Papanokian.
And so is
Yeah,
he.
Pino's
So
Papanokian. He's just
so
from Painting.
You guys
so
are
when
native? What's going on? You
yeah,
guys
there's definitely Native American in me too. Pause. But no, but he was so okay. through his marriage and through his sisters and his brother's marriages and his cousins and shit, it's a lot of different people that he's tapped in with. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like he's tapped in. He can never. All right, I know how to make Pino choke up on a live. When next time he comes on a live, say this, right? Hey Pino, what about Kodak Black and Jack Boy's beef? He'll get off of the live because he
I don't
can't
know.
talk about that. That shit hits too close to home for him. That shit, it does, bro. So when it said when he's talking about, I know he's joking right here, but hey, I can make this all go away. I
Right,
think
right.
I think Ronnie brought it up. It's a Florida thing. I think he can make it go away in
Yeah.
Florida.
No, I think
And
he's pulling a jumpsuit
at the
Pablo,
same
bro.
time, I think he was just catching wreck. Just for context, I think he was just talking
Yeah,
that
he's
shit.
been
Like, I'll
watching
put
too
you
much
under my
jumpsuit
wing.
Pablo.
I'll son you type shit. I think he's catching his wreck.
Yeah, he's trying to do the jumpsuit Pablo thing.
Hit that like button.
X star shine. But you, no more rolling loud. No more going outside. I don't know if it was your country ass girlfriend that boosted your head up and filled that shit up. It was like, yeah, do it. Or the bills was due, or rent
Yeesh. He is touching some fucking buttons right now.
was due,
I
and you
tell you
thought
one
you
thing,
was gonna get a.
he seems happy to see this downfall, bro. He's here for this whole ride.
He
Yeah, this
already
is
beat him in a fight though. What else is it? Because
well,
Jake
this
got $1
is
million in YouTube? It's
No,
because
cause
Jake got
nah,
that.
cause yo. So the first strike of the battle, right? What was the thing with the whole brass knuckles in Boston. The second one was the
The tape. You're
interrogation.
right.
Right now
So
they
it's one
even, they
one.
tied 1-1, so they trying to still break this shit. You
I
feel me?
always
well,
thought
you
this
know,
though, Ronnie. I think with him when he made $1 million, that gives him a win too. Because look, if we're playing a game and we're in
Success
the
is the best
well,
revenge. They
no,
always
no,
say
hold on.
success
I
is
want
the
to say
best
something, right?
revenge.
You got to remember when Pino attacked fucking 1090 Jake, he attached himself for fucking 1090 Jake's whole fucking career for the rest of his life because you can't mention 1090 Jake without fucking Pino's rat ass, and you can't mention fucking Pino's rat ass without fucking 1090 Jake. So he knew what he was doing. He fucking cashed in on fucking
Right,
insurance policy when he popped on him, and he kind of knew that he was gonna be somebody. You know what I mean? He was going up. He was doing a thing. He was
right.
manipulating the system. So he said, you know what? When he has his biggest pinnacles, I'm gonna have my pinnacles too, and I
Yeah,
think that's
a
what it
lot of
is,
people
man.
are clout chasing off of 1090, but the thing with Pino is we've had him on the YouTube streets multiple times, several dozens, if not dozens of times, right?
Well, Pino's a
And,
parasite,
and
let
man.
me
he
He
ask you a
he
actually
question.
never
I got
brings
a
the
question.
1090 shit up. He don't really
My
talk
hands in
about it
there.
much.
I'm raising my hand. For both of y'all too. Do you think Pino's a snitch? That's my first question.
is this a
I think
rhetorical
Pino will tell
question,
you
bro?
he's a snitch, right? He ain't a
Okay,
rat. He
yeah.
didn't bring down no organization,
Yeah,
but I think he'll
he
tell you,
doesn't
yeah, I
deny
told
it.
on the bitch, I'm a
But
snitch.
but you
Yeah,
but snitches and rats are we'll just pretend it's the same thing. I know there's actually that's more subjective. This is all subjective.
Well,
But
technically he's a rat. Hold on, he's a rat because that whole crew he had when they were burglarizing shit and fucking trying to fix their habit.
right. If he had a
That's
homeboy
a
or a brother
that's
there, yeah.
yo. He sold old girl down the river, bro. What you mean? And then he said, "You go ahead, dig her up. She not gonna say nothing." So it wasn't like, yo, we had a plan, like, yo, she was gonna take the fall, or yo, we had an idea where
he was
nah,
the last
there's
one that
18.
snitched though. Then
Listen,
there's other YouTubers that
they fucking
very
ran him through the mill, man. That fucking 18-hour interrogation was not needed, bro. He was telling them everything they needed to know in the first 30 minutes, bro. You fucking kidding me,
though.
bro? They
Okay, let me
stretched
ask
that
you this
shit out.
question: Is 1090 Jake a snitch?
What makes you on what grounds? That grievance?
The grievance, the news station. This and I don't believe this. I honestly don't.
Right,
If we're
right.
going by standards and it's I don't know where the grievance.
Yo,
Yeah, I get what they're saying on the grievance, but Byron Blake is going by the news station, the
right.
grievance, and then the eyewitnesses, the old paperwork where he didn't give names. There was fake paperwork on there, but he spoke to police.
Right. So yo, I'm gonna say this. Know who quoted it best? I think the best one to kind of break it down, right, was King AK-47. We actually had him on the YouTube streets, but I think you should clip exactly what he said when he addressed that whole grievance thing with 1090. Slide it in this video for context because he basically breaks it down like I don't look at him like a snitch, but going by his rules, he would be considered a snitch type shit. Just Don't quote me on it. That's just the short version of a long story. But you feel me? I think
I'm not gonna
that's
be
a
able to
good
find that.
perspective. I'll send it to you, bro. I'll find
Yeah,
it and
shout
send
out to
it
the
to
old
you.
All
school
right, you
days,
find
man.
You know
it.
what I
You
mean?
find it.
But
Yeah,
shout out to
find that.
King AK. He pulled up 47 pulled up for a YouTube Streets interview way back in the day. I think we still had Breadwinner Ruger. That was like one of our most earliest. So I want to give him a shout out. But I think he broke it down well, bro. So I'd have to quote him on that shit. You know what I mean?
The reason I asked both those questions because the people in Byron Blaze comments and people in Pino's, they got him at 1090 on the same level as, as
Right.
as the snitching
Cause
level.
I don't
Do
look
you
at
agree with that?
1090 like I don't look at 1090 like a snitch, bro. Personally, you know what I'm saying. But if they're gonna go by his rules and what he's been
Well, he
doing on YouTube,
capitalized.
then
He
you know what I mean. But I can't speak on what he had going on in there because I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
so he capitalized off of giving information about people that nobody knew about, right? So if he would have never mentioned these people and dug so thoroughly, you know what I mean, he would have never been able to capitalize. So I don't know. He definitely took advantage of the situation. And like I said, um, maybe he had some sort of training while he was incarcerated through one of those drug programs. Because
Right.
the way he presents the videos is almost like if you're in AA. You know what I mean? It's just got a
Yo, and
little
the
bit
way
darker hood to it, like a
you
little bit
never.
more of a situation to it. You know what I mean? The feels is
Right.
different, but
Right.
it's almost the same formula. You know what I mean?
And you never know what's going on with the grievance. Like at the same time, plugger, everybody could have been in agreement. Like, yo, this is what we're gonna say happened for this. You never know what happened in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. Say this. Like, you've had to kind of be there type shit or be involved. We would have to interview that other person, and that's exactly why I reached
Yeah,
out
he
last
doesn't
night.
have any street paperwork. I tell you that, man. So
You know what I
if
mean?
it's just a prison grievance and that's what they're holding him on to, and that's why he got
That would be
disowned.
between him and his brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's between them. That's their politics. But someone can't just call him a snitch out here in the streets when
Zip
he
with the
never
drip
got.
calls fit. Well, he called. I'll tell you the behind the scenes on this. So,
Oh,
50
let's get to
Cent.
that.
So 50 Cent shouted out 1090 Jake one time, right?
Yep.
And Zip with the Drip and 50 Cent already had a relationship going. So as soon as that post went out, that post came down. And the reason is because Zip with the Drip got a hold. He's like, let's get to that. He got a hold of 50 Cent and he said, hey, bro, the guy you posting, he's a rat too. Because
Oh
50
shit.
Cent, because Zip with the Drip has been, even the first paperwork, he says that was ratting that 1090 Jake did. And
Right.
that's when he was a kid and he made up a story that two people shot inside his uh in his house.
Yeah, they had that and the new shit. They had a few different because 1090 even made a few videos or actually one video on all the times they said I was snitching and he addresses each and every one of them. So them are two great videos to pull up. You can have 1090 speak for himself and Zip with the Drip. That whole shit, you could have him kind of break that down because I'm gonna be real. I didn't know that's exactly why. I kind of forgot that's why he got that shit. You know what I mean? Took him down. That's crazy.
Just like how Adam and 1090 Jake, they do a lot of gatekeeping on the West Coast. Well, Zip with the Drip and Hassan Kane will do some gatekeeping on the East Coast. Now let's get to the video.
Yeah.
The YouTube Streets does no gatekeeping.
Hit that like button. Stay
A
heating.
waxing off of this shit, but and it's just a coincidence that he waited till Trump gave Larry Hoover a pardon to make a video, which totally and utterly backfired on him, but make a video calling Mr. Hoover out of his name.
I never
But
really
this is all the
noticed this,
fuck
but
shit
why does
aside, bro.
Pino
I'm
have a
praying for you, brother.
Patriots tattoo?
Yo, now listen, we talked about this before. He got connections to New England. That's why that wasn't the only thing he was doing when he
So
went up there and
1090 and
beef with
Pino could be
shit.
related this whole time. We don't
Yeah,
even know.
cause yo, I got the Patriots tattoo, but it's the old school one that you know what I'm saying, the
Whoa.
Oh,
original
the Drew
logo.
Bledsoe.
The
Yeah.
original logo of the Patriot dude in the coat, you know what I mean, in the football stance. So but he got the new school one. But we spoke on that before on one of the first lives we were ever on, and he said, you know, he got connections over there to New England and shit. He fucks with New England, so that's why I think personally he was already over there, and he just did that shit while he was there. I don't think he went all the way there just to do that shit. You know what I mean?
So I just want to rewind this. Listen to this snark ass shit he says, man.
Okay.
Mr. Hoover out of his name.
So he's saying that 1090 Jake called 1090 out of his name.
You mean
And
Hoover?
yeah, saying that he is a snitch. So basically, by him saying that, you know, he's basically, for me, when he said it like that, he's agreeing with 1090 Jake. I'll rewind it for you.
Right. Well, he
Oh, I
doesn't
see
say
what you're
Larry
saying. I
Hoover. He
see.
says Mr. Hoover. He does show
Yeah,
respect. So
he does show
let's pay
respect.
On him,
attention.
but
Maybe I
make a
missed it.
video
Show.
calling Mr. Hoover out of his name. But this
Okay,
is
so
all
he's not agreeing with Jake, but he's agreeing with Jake in the sense of Pino's a snitch, if that makes sense.
And he's saying out of his name, yeah. So automatically that
So
differentiates it
that
because
means everyone will be calling you out of your name, Pino. You know what I mean? That's what I got from that. But go ahead.
fuck shit aside, bro. I'm praying for you, brother. I am, bro. I don't wish harm upon nobody, bro. I'm praying for you, dog, and I'm praying for your safety, brother, because
Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is genuine.
you fucked up.
Yes, put a 1 or put a 2 if you think
Like,
it's
you
not.
fucked up bad. I don't think you understand that. Like, you still right now to this day, you might not understand how bad you fucked up a couple days ago. You might not understand it, and a lot of fans might not understand it either. A lot of fans might be like, well, just another criminal that he tried to expose or something like that. A lot of fans might not understand it, but I'm gonna put it into a perspective. Everywhere I've been in life, I have met somebody affiliated with the Folk Nation. Everywhere I've been, whether it has been in society, whether it has been jail, whether it has been prison, whether it has been school, workplaces, everywhere I've been. And you basically shit on everything they stand for. You did. You did.
It's the rhetoric I was talking about. You said you were genuinely, you know, praying for this man, but you are pointing out all the things that would hype somebody up
right.
to go and hurt this man.
And I don't
You
agree
made a
with
boo-boo. And
I
right.
don't think he was calling Larry Hoover a snitch at all. I don't think he was. I think he was saying you were calling him out of his name and saying the exact opposite. But I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, man. He's definitely gonna light some fires. You know what I'm saying? This shit here is gonna get some
Right now, Pino is speaking to you, Jacob Cherry, because I know you're watching.
And see, the crazy part is he's denounced his gang and he's fucking talking shit about one of the biggest gang founders in the United States of America history. People are gonna actually side with fucking Rat Boy Pino, bro, because he's kind of sort of in a righteous path, if you so to speak.
Right.
He did this 2 years ago, but he didn't technically denounce his gang. He just said he was a father.
I know you're watching. The audience might not know, but I know that you are watching and you are listening. So I'm speaking to you.
It's almost like he is speaking to him, no?
Yeah.
Or am I bugging out? Because it's so personal now, right? Because he has nobody backing him, and he's got no real safety nets or lines of defense, because he's denounced and kind of made enemies for himself. So it's like all the bullshit is out the way. It's really just him and Pino talking right now. Like,
yeah.
in all actuality, you could feel the vulnerability that 1090 would be having right now.
Right. Well, I think people would have to really listen and watch 1090's video and see if he was just quoting some news article from the 60s or if he was actually disrespecting the nut and draw their own conclusion. But this is definitely crazy. I could see this getting out of hand, spreading like a wildfire. You know what I mean? And hopefully that's not the case, but it's just
Larry
looking
Hoover's not the
ugly.
first GD 1090 Jake exposed.
Right.
You gotta
Didn't he
remember
do
that
some other video about someone else trying to be
King Yella first. King Yella.
King Yella exposing Takeoff and
that's different. You're talking about
Offset and a few other people?
No,
We're
he
talking about
exposed King Yella as a rat to 90 Jake. I think that video didn't get enough play because everyone
Yo,
forgets about it.
but I think in that video he did about King Yella, it brought up other rappers that were allegedly involved,
Oh
like
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yup,
Kanye and
yup,
Offset and other. Yeah,
yup. You're right. You're right.
that's crazy.
YouTube streets, man. We out.
Yeah.